Good afternoon. I call to order the meeting of the June 14th Portsmouth Community Network Broadband Authority, and we will have the roll call by Madam Secretary.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Barnes. Mr. Battle.
Here.
Mr. Glover.
Here.
Mr. Moody.
Here.
Dr. Whitaker. Mr. Woodard. Mrs. Lucas-Burke.
Here. All right, we'll begin with our agenda as printed, and the first order is the adoption of the minutes. And everyone has had an opportunity to review the minutes of our last meeting held on May 10th. If there are no changes, I entertain a motion to approve the minutes as printed.
I present a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second, and we will have a roll call.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Barnes is absent. Mr. Battle.
Yes.
Mr. Glover.
Yes.
Mr. Moody.
Yes.
Dr. Whitaker is absent. Mr. Woodard is absent. Mrs. Lucas-Burke.
Yes.
The minutes are approved 4-0.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Our next agenda item entails the public comment on the proposed rate schedule, and we presented our rate schedule last meeting, and we have submitted that to the public for an opportunity for feedback. We don't have any speakers that are scheduled to speak, so seeing no speakers, we'll move on to our next agenda item, which is our closed session. And there is a motion for closed session. If I could have someone to present that, we will move into closed.
Yes, ma'am. I move to go into a closed meeting pursuant to Virginia Code subsection 2.2-3711A.33, discussion by a local authority created in accordance with the Virginia Wireless Service Authorities Act of confidential proprietary information and trade secrets, and subsection 2.2-3711A.6, discussion or consideration of the investment of public funds where competition or bargaining is involved, specifically regarding market rate pricing and build-out strategies, and pursuant to subsection 2.2-3711A.8 for the purpose of consultation with legal counsel retained by the authority regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice specifically regarding fiber leases.
Second.
All right, we have moved and second for closed session. Madam Secretary, if you will call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Barnes is absent. Mr. Battle.
Yes.
Mr. Glover.
Yes.
Mr. Moody.
Yes.
Dr. Whitaker is absent. Mr. Woodard.
Yes.
Mrs. Lucas-Burke.
Yes. And we are in closed, and so we'll have any visitors outside of the Broadband Authority to join us later.
I hereby move that each council member certify that to the best of his or her knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempt from opening meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the closed meeting just concluded.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, and Madam Secretary, if you will call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Barnes.
Yes.
Mr. Battle.
Yes.
Mr. Glover.
Yes.
Mr. Moody.
Yes.
Dr. Whitaker.
Yes.
Mr. Woodard.
Yes.
Mrs. Lucas-Burke.
Yes. All right, we're back in our open session, and our future business topics, I guess we will add now our Wi-Fi deployment to our open session topic so that we can share information with the public. And if there's any other information that members would like to add, let me or Attorney Swearinger know. Dr. Whitaker?
Yeah, I was just curious if we could get some type of update on any type of marketing that we're doing of the dark fiber. I know that was mentioned in previous meetings. How are we planning on
marketing it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the marketing is going to be slightly dependent on how exactly we want to use the ring. So for example, if we're going to primarily just stick with dark fiber leases, or if We do want to, in the future, issue things like RFPs to try to actively attract new internet service providers to the area. And we really need to have more than an hour session to kind of sit down and figure out what we want to do with this ring. And then once you have that information, then you can go out and figure out how you want to market it, because the marketing is going to look different if you're really just using this as kind of dark fiber and Wi-Fi deployment versus bringing more entities in with an RFP.
Okay.
All right, so our next meeting is scheduled for July 12th at 4 o'clock, and that will also be where our public hearing will be. So we don't have any speakers that are speaking to us, so this adjourns our meeting. Thank you.